So I was watching this video by Mexico Esco, which is a very interesting idea. It's really interesting. It was about Wreck-It Ralph, about what would be life and death. But here's my question. So here's my question. So we know Disney, and I don't know if this is unintentional or intentional, but you have Disney's Wreck-It Ralph, which is an idea of arcades, and it's set in I think the 80s or the 90s. I don't know exactly when it takes place, but I know that it's sort of deals with arcade games, and it deals with the world of video games coming to life, etc. With the rules applied with it. Obviously, you have what would it be? What it would be a fun idea to look at? Yeah, this world, but for consoles, because that would be interesting. But that's not my point. I would agree that would be an interesting idea. Being okay, what would it be like to actually look into do the same thing with Wreck-It Ralph, but for a PlayStation, not specifically PlayStation, but a console game, or would there be different rules because you have save files, and if you unplug arcades, reset. If you unplug a PlayStation but you've saved, it gets saved unless you delete the file, and then that has a whole bottle of questions if you delete a save file, does that mean the character's memories get deleted? If you have multiple save files open, does that mean there's multiple versions of the characters? And if that gets unplugged, does that not count because you have the save files? That's an interesting question, and that's one that I would love if they looked into. They did do online video games, but that's server-based, so if you get rid of that, maybe it's not the same because you're working on the same server. Because they do a MMO type game, which is more like a server, whereas the rules. But that's not my point. My point is, even though a lot of people video games are more than just games, and I do agree with that, does it not seem that both Wreck-It Ralph and Toy Story, with a similar idea with video games, are sort of in a similar world and maybe could be? I don't know if I'm overreacting or if I'm overreading this, but it seems because of both are sort of can be seen as toys. Am I overreaching? Maybe, but maybe I don't know. That's one thing that I've been thinking of.